Hello lovelies, welcome back to Benny Elegance Studio. Today I will show you how I made that lovely pencil skirt you're seeing on the screen. If this is what you want to learn, please watch till the end. I've already drawn my pattern paper, but I'm going to explain everything. If you've not watched my video, the last video where I taught how to draft a basic skirt pattern, please go and watch it. It will give you better understanding of what we are going to. This is a pencil skirt with zip at the back. My waist is 30 inches divided by 4 gives me 7.5 inch. Then that 7.5 inch, I marked it here. Can you see what I'm doing? 7.5 inch, I marked it here. Then plus this 1 inch allowance of the dart, I place it here and mark out that 1 inch. Then I mark out another 1 inch for my sewing allowance, as you can see. So how do we get this dart? From our waist point, this is our bust span, nipple to nipple measurement, which I'm using 7 inches divided by 2 gives me 3.5 plus half inch for joining allowance. So I have 4 inches, that is here. This is the center line, is my dart. But because I'll be using 1 inch, so I have to take out half inch from both sides. If you see it, place your 1 inch, place it here, half inch is here, half inch is here. So this is 1 inch. So that was what I replaced here when I said dart replacement. That is it. So for the hip measurement, I'm using the hip measurement of 41 inch. Our hip is 41.5 divided by 4 inches gives me 10.5 inches. You see? So I measure 10.5 inches for my hip, as you can see it. Then plus 1 inch allowance for my sewing. I didn't put much allowance for that sewing. So this is our knee bending. And you know that how to get our knee bending is minusing 1 inch from whatever we have on a hip measurement. Since we have 10.5 here, so our knee bending will be 9.5. So I measured that 9.5 here. I added again my 1 inch allowance. Our full length is 40 inches. 40 inches, and I'll be using the waistband of 3 inches. So I'm going to minus that 3 inches. Because I'll be bringing it through the waistband, so I'm going to minus it instead of having 40 inches. So I'll be having, what I'll be having now is 37 inches as a whole. So measure from here gives me, you can see 37 inches 0.5. That's what I have. Why I put this half inches for joining, I will be able to join it back to that very band. So what I have here now is 37.5. That's what I have here. Hope you are following, you understand what I'm doing. So the next thing I'll be doing is, and if you watch here, you see that I've slanted here because I removed 0.5 inch from here. I cut it off, joining there. Look at it. I remove it to eliminate bulging in the front of your skirt. That's what I just did there. So like you see, I pin it down. So the next thing I'm going to do, just to get our measurement, the full measurement, like we did here, we have on our knee bending, we have 9.5 inch. To get our full length now, we'll be minusing 1 inch again from this, whatever we have on the knee bending. Meaning that since we have 9.5 inch here, our full length, the circumference, will be using 8.5 inch. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So right here, I will measure 8.5 inch plus 1 inch sewing allowance. Then I'll be having 9.5 inch. So I will mark it here. So it will help me to join. So as I'm coming down, I will join. So you see? Can you see what I'm doing? So we join it. From here, I will trace all. From here, I'm going to trace to cut out. marking out all. Just see what I'm doing, pin it down, then mark everything out and then cut, so you don't make any mistake. Now that I've marked everything, I will now cut. Can you see what I'm doing? Then from this point, this is our 40, so we are using it. Can you see what I'm doing? Please, if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comments and I will answer you. If there is something you don't understand, please feel free to ask questions. So this is it. We have cut out our pencil skirt. This is our front panel. So we'll be cutting out the back panel. That will be having zip allowance. You can see our pencil skirt. This is our the front part of the skirt. Now we'll be cutting out the back. We'll just place our fabric down. You see, place it down. Then mark out your zip allowance. We'll first mark out our zip allowance. We'll be using zip allowance of 1.5 inch. I'll be marking out 1.5 inch. From this point, I'll mark it down. 1.5 inch down. See, just watch what I'm doing. Can you see what I'm doing? Be marking out 1.5 inch. Just take it down 1.5 inch. Mark it down. For the zip allowance, you can use 1 inch. Whatever you want to use, you can use 1 inch. You can use 1.5. You can use 2 inches, depending on what you want. Anyone you feel you can work better with, so you go ahead and work with it. So it's not standard. 1.5 is not standard or constant. So you draw your line. From the line we'll mark, just join all of them together to get your zip allowance. Connect all together. Connect all. Sorry. Now we'll be placing our front panel. You place from the line, this zip line, because that's the only difference we have here now. That's zip. And that zip line and the line. Can you see? Placing it on the line. If you have done that, then you can pin it down so it doesn't move around. Then I want to, this point where we cut out 1/2 inch. When we are cutting the back, we will not cut out that 1/2 inch because it's the back. So we will bring back that 1/2 inch we remove. Okay, you will return it like what you can see what I'm doing now. I've returned that 1/2 inch for the back panel. You can see I've returned back the 1/2 inch for the back panel. Then you cut. It's very simple. It's not hard. Very simple. We're almost done with what we are doing. Just to cut out this, then we are done. I'm done cutting out our skirt. You can see we have our front and back here together now. You can see. Now we are going to get our waistband. We are working with waist circumference of 30 inches divided by 2 because this is on fold. You see my fabric is on fold. Divided by 2 give me 15 inches plus 1 inch allowance. That is 16 inches. You mark it here. This is our 16 inches. We'll mark it here. Then here will be on fold. To get our 3 inches, we will fold here by 3.5 inch. That 0.5 is for joining. So we are going to mark out now 3.5. From this point, you mark 3.5. Can you see what I'm doing? 3.5. This is our joining. That ½ inch is for joining. Do you understand what I'm doing? That is it. So by the time you open it, you'll be having 7 inches in it. So you cut out. So this is our waistband. Let's confirm it. Should have 16 inches here. So you can see this 16 inches. Can you see? 16 inches. That's what we have. So this is our waistband. This is the back of our skirt. You can see the line. I've already marked out the zip allowance. I've slit it into 2. You can see the line. So we are going to stitch the line down. We'll stitch the first part of it where we'll be attaching our zip, fixing our zip. We fix it loose. Then from that point, we top stitch and come down to this point and top stitch again. Here is where our slit will be starting. So I'm going to do it now, starting from that first point. But before then, I will bring our zip. You see, the first part of our zip, 3 inches, which will be going to the band. You see it, you place it on the ½ inch before that edge. You see me marking out that ½ inch. That will be joining allowance. And then you mark out again where the zip will be stopping. When you get to this point, you top stitch. Then stitch normal down till you get to this point, which is where our slit will be starting. Now we are going to sew this first part where we'll be fixing our zip. We are going to sew it loose, just the tension you use when you are sewing gather, so it can be easy for you to loose when you are about to fix your zip. We are going to top stitch now. You see me top stitching. Then from this point, you are going to sew tight. That's normal. Till you get to the point where our slit will be starting. Then we'll top stitch again. Top stitch. We are done stitching, so we open the back of our skirt. I'm going to bring the front panel of the skirt, the front side of it, and match the two together, right side facing each other. When you match them, make sure the two sides align very well. Align the two sides. Then mark out your sewing allowance by the two sides. If you're a beginner, if you mark out, then it will be good for you to use chalk and mark it down from this waist to the selvage, that is to the down part of your skirt. You see, I've already marked it out. When you mark it out, please pin it down so it will be easy for you to sew. Now we're going to follow the line and sew down. Please, if you have any question, feel free to ask your question. If there is something you don't understand, You're free to ask a question. Drop your question in the comment and I'll answer you. Just stitch it down. I'm done stitching both sides. So you can see the skirt is already coming out fine. You can see the two sides. So what I'm going to do now is to open that zip side. I'm going to open it. When we open it, the next thing I'll be doing is to put a stay on our band. You see, this is my stay. I've already placed it on the band. So I'm going to use my iron now and iron it down to stay in place. If you have steam iron, that's the best thing to use. You can use steam iron, it will stay very well. But if you don't have steam iron, you can use any iron. All of them works well. Now I'm done ironing it down. I'm going to fold the two sides. You know, when we mark it out, we mark 7 inches. 1 inch for joining, which is half inch. I will be folding by the two sides like you see me showing you now. I will fold ½ inch this side and ½ inch this side. I've already done that. You can see it. So I'm going to place the two together and iron it down. This will help me when I'll be fixing it on the skirt. Then I'll iron it down. Now I'm done ironing. I'm going to keep it aside and work on our dart. So this is our skirt. I've already marked out the dart. You can see it. If you don't know how to mark this dart or how to sew it, how to get your dart, you can check my previous video where I taught how to work on a dart, how to get your dart. I'll briefly tell you. Is your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Then mark it out. Then from that waist point, mark 6 inches down. Then take ½ inch from both sides and connect it down to the leg, that leg. Now I'm going to sew it. You see what I'm doing? So when you get to that point, you top stitch it to secure your stitch. I'm done sewing this very one. You see how neat it's looking? So I'm going to sew the rest of them, 4 of them, the same way. Yeah. I'm done sewing them. I've sewn the 4 sides of the dart. The 4 darts are sewn. So the next thing we'll be doing is to get our band, fold it into 2 equal parts and notch the middle. As you can see, I've already notched it. You see it? Just notch the middle of it. Do the same thing on your skirt. Hold the waist into 2 equal parts. Get the center of it and notch it. You can see me? You see I've already notched the center too. So what you do now is to get the band and match the 2 center together. The center of the band and the center of your skirt, the waist. You see me doing it? So when you match it together, pin it all around the skirt and then follow this line, the line we iron down. Follow it and sew it around. I will sew it and show you. I've already done that. You can see it. You can see one side of our band has been sewn. See how neat it's looking. So what we're going to do now is to bring this other side and place it on the stitch. You can see the stitch, the first stitch. Place it on top of the stitch. Make sure it's aligned to give you a very fine band. Then stitch all around. Place it and make sure everything lay flat and stitch all around. I will sew it and show you now. You can see how neat our band is looking. I've already done that sewing. It's very beautiful. You can see. You won't see the stitch anywhere except this side, this inner side, and see how beautiful it's looking. It's very neat. So when you sew your own, make sure it comes out this neat. So the next thing we'll be doing is our zip, to fix our zip. So you see this stitch where we lose the stitch, we'll follow it and mark out line. Please, as a beginner, always mark out this line. This will help you a lot. Mark out your line. Follow that stitch, the one we lose, and mark your line straight so you can easily place your zip. You see where you're placing your zip? It won't be crooked when you're done sewing it. Open the zip. You can see. You see the side of the zip, and then turn it down. As you turn it, you place it on that line. You can see what I'm doing. You can see the zip. The side that is facing the edge of your fabric is where you're going to sew. So when you're sewing, but before you sew, pin it down. Make sure you pin it all down. As a beginner, please don't do that. Don't just, everybody is learning. Do you understand? Just pin it down. That will help you a lot. Then when you become perfect, you can hold it and do whatever you want to do. But for now, hold it and pin it, because even the professionals still use their pin. Pin it down like I'm doing all through. Pin it all down. Please make sure you follow that line. I'm done pinning it. You can see it. So when sewing now, place your presser foot at the center of your zip and sew down. This will give you a straight stitch. I'm done sewing that first side. You can see how beautiful it's looking. You can see I opened the zip so you see how neat it is. You can see it. See the side that is already sewn. So we are going to close it and sew the second side of our zip. You can see what I'm doing. Turn it around. Then place this other side on this other line. You can see it. I'm done pinning it. You can see it. When you pin this second side, please make sure if you have any joining, make sure it's aligned. And this starting point, make sure it also aligned. This is what gives your finishing professional look. You can be able to sew your dress fine, but it's all this finishing. You should try your best to make them look neat. It's what makes your work look neat and give it that professional look. So when you fix yours, make sure it's aligned. Okay, I will fix it. You can see how beautiful it's looking. So the next thing we are going to do is to lock our zip. So we open it. Open the zip. You see it? Oh, sorry, I didn't know the light wasn't showing well when I did this part. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you can still get what I'm doing. Or you can watch my previous video on how to fix your zip. Then you get it very well. So we are going to flip that back and turn it. Then use our pin to hold the two sides down and top stitch on it just to secure the zip. So I'm going to go to the machine now and sew it down. Yeah. See the way I'm doing it, sewing it down. I I'll sew the two sides down. And once you are done this, you fix your zip. So we are done fixing the zip. You can see our band. You can see the zip, you can see the band. The skirt is already given. Everything is coming out fine. So the next thing we are going to do is to go and close our slits. We are going to sew our slits. See what I'm doing? Hold it here from that joining and sew it down at the center. Then follow this side. Please make sure your stitch comes out neat, sew straight. It's very important you sew straight. These are the finishing touch that matters a lot. So I'm going to hold it, and so you see what I'm doing. You can see the machine. This center side, you sew it first, then and sew the other two sides. Just watch what I'm doing. Yeah, we're done sewing the two sides. You can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is go and press it, iron it down to come out very smoothly. We iron it down. Then we're going to, when we are done doing that, we will hem this side. This is the last part of this tutorial. So when we turn it twice, 2 times, then we sew down. Now I'm sewing it. You can see it. I'll sew down. Yeah. I think this brings us to the end of this tutorial. If you find this video helpful, please like, share so that someone who needs this same video will get it. Subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Bye.